All right, guys, welcome to Chick Flicks, the place where you get movie reviews from yours truly. Now, this is the first live show I'm doing on this particular channel. Thank you for everyone that has subscribed so far. I hope you're enjoying the reviews. Long time watcher, I suppose new reviewer. So it's going to take me time to get into my flow and swing of things. And I've got a lot of plans for this particular channel. So this is not a fad for me. This is a long-term project for me, so I hope you stay with me as I begin to explore. But yeah, I think one of the things, I say all that to say this. For me, I'm just doing a quick review on this, quick live show. I hope you guys enjoy it. You've had the whole weekend to watch this movie, so I'm hoping it's not a bad thing by doing a review. I do try and do at least one clean review for all movies. I've seen some of your suggestions in my previous videos that I should do a spoiler review for each movie as well. I'm not going to do that for every single one, but for certain big blockbuster ones and for certain important movies in this, I absolutely will. I still will do a Joker spoiler review. I'll probably do that sometime in the week, so do keep an eye out on that. Right, let's talk about El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. The movie we didn't know we needed, but we did. And, you know, I guess spoiler alert, it was excellent. It was very, very good. No, I really liked it. I really liked it. And the one thing I will say for Aaron Paul, I think he's a decent actor. I don't think he's anything spectacular. He has a very calm demeanor in every single role that he picks up. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depends the way who sees it, he will probably never get away from Jesse Pinkman in his career. You know, there are just certain actors that are not going to get away from iconic roles. Like Robbie Downey Jr. Today I heard that he's going to be playing the new Dr. Dolittle. Well done for him. You know, it'd be good for him to do a completely different role to Iron Man. But let's be real here. To most of us, he'll be Iron Man for quite some time. And I think Aaron Paul falls into that category. He's never going to get away from this part, no matter what he does. And him saying, you know, the word bitch now has become a fad almost. But, you know, power to him. You know, I think in this particular film, I thought he was excellent. I thought he delivered such a strong performance. Really, I would say carried the film, actually. I thought he was quite captivating every time he was on there. You know, I think, you know, this film picks up, again, straight off Breaking Bad. Keeping in mind, Breaking Bad finishes a series 6 years ago. And, you know, you'll hear Breaking Bad described as the greatest TV program ever made. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but I thought it was an excellent show. Always stuff happening. That last season is madness. And actually, it's that last season in particular that actually is a big part of what forms this particular film. So I would say you do need to see this. You do need to see Breaking Bad, really, to understand the Jesse Pinkman story. Because it's so easy to forget, really, Breaking Bad was about Walter White. It was about, Eisenberg. You know, it wasn't about Jesse Pinkman per se. Yes, he was a supporting role. He's a supporting character, and he was obviously a main focus to a certain extent of the storylines that happen. But let's be real here: the whole thing starts with Bryan Cranston's character and how that develops and how that evolves and how he starts from being a really good guy with really pure intentions to, you know, being the antagonist actually of the entire series. Went from being the protagonist to the antagonist, and he went from being this sympathetic character that you wanted to root for to almost being the boogeyman. And actually, it was Jesse that became in the end, a protagonist, particularly towards the end of that movie. Sorry, that series. And I suppose we never kind of got the kind of what happened to Jesse after, because obviously in the end, I'm hoping I'm not spoiling it for people who haven't seen Breaking Bad. If you haven't, leave this for a second. But obviously Jesse gets away at the end of Breaking Bad and drives off into the distance. And you kind of just, because of the way it ended, like the way it ended, Breaking Bad was this relief that, you know, Jesse had finally gotten away from the boogeyman. You know, everything had just, he was just crying, he was laughing with elation, he was just relieved that he was just able to just get out of there, get away from all his demons, get away from the fact that he just the stuff that had happened to him in season 4. He was able to just get away from all of that. And I guess from a kind of a watcher point of view, that was almost enough for us as a spectator, that you saw this guy, you had seen his suffering, you'd seen the conditions that he was in season 4. I'm trying not to spoil it because it plays a lot in this El Camino film, so I'm trying not to spoil it if you've not already seen it. And he drove off into the distance. So we never really kind of wondered what had happened to Jesse afterwards. We kind of just assumed that, well, he was okay. But actually what this whole El Camino movie was about was, you know, the manhunt for Jesse Pinkman, because, you know, he was the only person alive after the events of that season 4 that could verify what had happened. So he became like the biggest. He became like the most hunted, the person they needed to hunt down the most. And I think that was what this whole story was about. And for some of you, I suppose, non-Mexican watchers that are listening out there, El Camino, interestingly enough, means the way. And so yes, it describes a car, but actually the meaning of it is the way. I think that becomes apparent as you watch this movie. But I thought it was just more of Vince Gilligan's genius behind the camera, in the writing booth. You know, I thought it was very well written. Really good story. Jesse runs into problems in this movie, but you're left feeling very satisfied. I think that to me was the danger when I heard that they were making a Breaking Bad. Mind you, I say I heard. I learned this in August. Somehow they managed to film this whole thing in secret, in the same place they filmed Breaking Bad, which is amazing to me that no one was able to spoil it, especially in this day and age. So they did really well in that. Yeah, I think for me, I thought they achieved everything that they needed to achieve. I thought it had a really satisfying ending. And I think you should go watch it. It's on Netflix right now. So go watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it's a fun 2-hour movie. I didn't know I needed this, like I said. But now that I got it, it would have been easy for them to ruin it. It would have been easy for them to overthink it. It had been 6 years since they had touched it. So it would have been real easy to just dabble around with stuff and overplay it and overplay the hand. But I actually thought they did really well. Good movie, good watch, light watch as well. So I wouldn't say it's anything too heavy that you shouldn't watch it. Go watch it. It's a nice movie. And yeah, for me, if I was to give it a rating, I'll give it a B+. I thought it was really good. You guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please crush, please destroy, please drop kick that like button. I appreciate when you guys do that. In answer to Ryan's question, I will do at some point, my man. I will do at some point. I will do at some point. All right. I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.